Howdy all, and welcome to Lex Lives. I think it's time we play a little 7 Days to Die. Alright, so I got a little bit done in between sessions here. I finished collecting my storages. I got some farm blocks built. I gotta get more supplies for the farm blocks. Let's see what we got here. I still have plenty of... I guess I just need clay soil is my big thing at the moment. Guess we can get out here and do some digging. What do we gotta do to make an iron shovel? $56 forged iron. Nope. I don't have iron. Okay, we can get out here and get some supplies real quick anyways. I think I had a hole I was digging over here. I need to expand my my base a little bit too. Where's that hole? There it is. Yeah, we got through our family Christmases now. I still got a little bit of work to do this week from actual work, but I hate when I can't get stuff done in the middle of the week and I gotta work on the weekend. I hate it. But I thought I'd take a little quick break here and at least get something recorded. I haven't recorded anything. Yeah, Christmas is crazy this year. I don't know. I talked about it a little bit before, but with my brother's kids getting older, they're, you know, adults now, for the most part. And they, for whatever reason, couldn't make it on the 24th, which is when our family normally does get together Christmas. When we were kids, my brother was told that we couldn't open any presents until Christmas Day, and so he woke everybody up at like 4 a.m. one time to open presents. And so after that, the new rule became we open up our presents on the 24th after dinner. And so that's kind of been our tradition, is that we get together as a group on the 24th. And yeah, and so this year, none of his kids apparently could make it on the 24th for whatever reason. I didn't hear the reasons. And so, my my sister and sister-in-law then decided that we were going to get together as a group in January sometime to do Christmas. And I was like, if it's that big of a hassle, let's just skip Christmas with them. Like, everybody can just have their own family Christmases. We don't have to get together as a group to do Christmas. Everybody's got their own Christmases they're doing. And so they're like, no, we got this plan and we're gonna get together. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, and we're only gonna buy gifts for the children. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, and there'll be stuff there for the adults too, but we're gonna play games. And then you can win prizes. I'm like, yeah, that sounds awful. Count me out. And they're like, no, it'll be fun. I'm like, I'd rather throw myself down the stairs than participate in something like that. Like, no, there'll be games. I'm like, yeah, there'll be games. because I'm taking my Steam Deck and y'all can play your games. I you already know you already know that my brother's not going to do it. I don't want to do it. Why would you think this was a good idea? Ain't nobody plays games in our house like that. What? Why would you think this is a good idea? Sometimes I tell you. And I already know that I already know that my niece's husband, he isn't gonna want to play games like that. What the heck, man? Uh, so so yeah. So then my brother, his wife has a crafting thing, and he comes over and like a crafting party, and so he comes over to skip out on that. How much soil did I get? Oh, I got tons of soil. What was the other thing I needed? Metal. All right. Let's find some cars and we'll tear them down with a wrench here. Get some parts while I get some metal. And so he comes over and he's like, "So here you're the Grinch." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, I heard you said we shouldn't have Christmas this year." I'm like, "Okay, now that is not what I said. What I said was it was too much of a hassle for everybody to get together for Christmas, then we could just skip it. It isn't me. It isn't me who can't show up. Okay? Don't blame me. Blame your children." And so then we decided, or then he says, "Well, we can get together." I'm like, "Yep, that's fine. We can get together." And he's like, "We'll do it on the 24th." I'm like, "Yep, that's fine." At my house, I'm like, "Yeah, I know you guys don't like to come over here." And he's like, "What about gifts?" I'm like, "Yep, gifts. I mean, that's kind of the point of getting together." Because it's not that we ever get together. Okay, we don't ever get together. It's not like oh well, it's spend time with it. We don't do that. We don't do that. It's not a thing we do. So if we're getting together for Christmas, obviously there's a reason for it, and the reason is exchange gifts because nobody's going to talk to each other, barely, and it's just the way it is in my family, and so we get together and we exchange gifts on the 24th, like normal, with the just 3 people at his house instead of his whole crew because they didn't get there. And yeah, and so it was all right. And then my sister and her family started doing Christmas Day Christmas, and so now so we used to take like all the gifts and or no what would happen was people would come to this house and this is where we would do the Christmas party, and then we would do gifts for everybody, and so everybody would open up just tons of gifts, and then now we go to his house, and so we basically just take their gifts, and then that's it. You just open the gifts for that particular group of people that's there, instead of doing both families' Christmases at the same time, all as a group. And so yeah, so we take their gifts, and then they have gifts for us, and then that's all that pretty much gets opened, and then everybody does their actual family Christmas on Christmas Day now. Which is again why I said we should just skip it. I mean, I was told we weren't doing birthdays anymore out of the blue. I'm like, well, my sister's like, well, we don't do birthdays anymore. I'm like, I've been buying presents for everybody for their birthdays. What do you mean we don't do birthdays anymore? We just went to a birthday party. What are you talking about? You people act like I don't. You people act like we've discussed these things. Nobody said anything to me. Nobody said anything to me. It wouldn't hurt my pocketbook to stop buying people birthday presents. So now I don't know. Am I supposed to get birthday presents for the birthdays that are coming up? I don't know. So, anyways. So yeah, so we got through our Christmases. Man, I got this crazy Godzilla puzzle. I'm a big Godzilla fan. And so they got me this 3D Godzilla puzzle. The trick with puzzles is that normally you look on the box and you see the picture of what it's supposed to look like, and so that gives you some idea where the pieces go. So this Godzilla puzzle, the problem is that yes, it looks like Godzilla, and it's 3-dimensional, so it's Godzilla standing up. But most of what you got to piece together is like the internal parts that aren't visible, and it's not like it's like it was a model without instructions. I swear it took me like 3 hours to put that thing together. The torso part is like a solid piece, but it's made up of these discs that are like stacked on top of each other. And so you gotta stack them all on top of each other, and then the top and bottom disc have a slot in them for this shaft to go through. The problem is that I didn't know. I had no idea. And so I'm just holding the whole thing together, trying to figure out how it's supposed to stay together. And then you get to the end of it, and I figured that out. And then even worse than that part, the spines on his back are all designed to fit in specific slots. And so there's like 20 or so of these little spines that go on his back. And so I tried to figure out where those spines go, and I finally just gave up, and I tore his back off so I could hold it up to the light, so I could see the slots, and then once I could see the slots, then I could feel the shape of the bottom of the spines, so I could figure out which slots they went into. It was crazy how difficult it was to get that thing put together. But I did finally get it all put together. Okay, you know what? I need to get down here. Whoops. Oh, hey, I didn't die. Is it weird that from up above it looked like there was a whole section of roof I hadn't even touched yet? And now that I'm down here, I have no idea. Oh, here it is. It's this here. No! Apparently that's super slippery. Somehow I didn't break my legs through all that. That's crazy. Okay, it's... Oh, it's right here. Yeah. Okay. So we go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, so it is right here. But yeah, I got that, and I don't know, what did I get? Some Godzilla posters, and a Stegosaurus. So I really like Stegosaurus. One, two. Well, I can kind of see where it's at. Okay. And then this one is right here. This one is right here, but I'm pretty sure I gotta take out this. What else I get? Godzilla hat. And a bunch of Steam gift cards. Which of course is the... When people go, what should we get you? I'm like, Steam gift cards. I got a bunch of survival games, because they're kind of my favorite. And a bunch of RPGs, because they're also my favorite. And... Oh! And I did get, I played the demo for a horror game. You know, like a Silent Hill kind of thing. And I kind of liked it. And so that was on my list. Whatever the one is about being on the oil rig. It just came out. I got the new Square Enix RPG. And... I got the, oh, this is not the right spot. How did I think there was roof below this part? Oh no, right. No, I did want to do this. I just want to do this section though, because I wanted to extend this way before I went that way. Yeah. That's fine. We can do the whole thing. Ladder down. But yeah, so it was a good Christmas, I guess. Other than the fighting over what we're gonna do beforehand. Always. Whoa. Long way up here. Oh man, I watched the Kevin Costner Western, Horizons Chapter 1. I gotta say, wow, that was not good. You'd think Kevin Costner, right, being all on, Yellowstone. And, haven't made movies since, like the 1980. Might have a concept of how movies work. But clearly that's not the case. And, so instead of, oh no, dang, that roof. That roof is so slippery. So I was a little shocked, that, no scene lasted longer than 3 minutes, maybe 4 minutes. For the first 25 minutes of the movie. The end of the movie was like a 10-minute montage sent to music. And there was just tons of scenes that you weren't sure how they fit together. And given that this was part 1, one would assume that this is the setup for the actual storyline. You know, I need to go hit a pharmacy and see if I can't find a cure for this dang. Yeah. But yeah, it was it was pretty crazy. I thought that like oh it opens up and it's got like all these little scenes and no explanation of what you're even looking at. And so there's like here's a guy laying out a cabin. And then here's two Native American kids watching him lay out the cabin trying to figure out what he's doing. And then there's a guy who's traveling through the area and he finds him dead. And then there's I'm like, okay. But nobody basically says anything. So you don't I'm like, why is he dead? Why did they kill him? What was the point? I don't understand. And then there's like this woman walks into a building and shoots a guy twice. Nothing leading up to it, nothing after it. I'm like, okay. And it was just like that for like the first 20 or so minutes. And there's like this family who you don't know where they're at, you don't know what they're doing. And they've got like a little farmstead, and then the farmstead turns out to be like at the same place as this tent town. Like it's literally up the hill from the tent town. And then they go to the piece there. And then they go to I know I could just put my block on that and it would be fine. But you know what? I want it in a pillar. And so they go down to the tent town for a party, and then there's like this whole thing where they're like, the boy refuses to dance with his mother, and people are dancing, and you know people are on lookout, and then they start walking up the hill, and the mother's talking about how the little boy went and danced with his mother, and he's not a little boy, but you know, it's just stuff like that, and I'm like, okay, all right, so now we're in the movie, got it, all right, we're in the story now, and then they get attacked by Apache, and the Apache start, you know, killing everybody, and a whole big group of them go and hide in the like around the corner of this hill in the dark, and they won't help out because they don't want to draw attention to where they're at. And then the rest of them end up in this cabin, and the mother and daughter go hide, and then in like a I don't know, a tunnel underneath the house, and then that's over, and then we go after something else, and something else, and something else, and I'm just like, none of these things are connected. I get that this is part one, okay? I get that this is part one, but this is a 3-hour movie, okay? Why is so much of it with no dialogue? And why is none of the parts connected together? So that woman who shot that guy in the first bit of the movie, she shows up again. I hate crawlies. She shows up again an hour and a half into the film. So she shot that guy. And you don't even find out why until almost 2 hours into the film. I thought that was crazy. And there's like a whole scene with a wagon train with people not helping out. Had nothing to do with anything else going on in the movie. Um, I still don't understand what the woman and her daughter escaping from that Apache attack have to do with anything, other than she's now in with the fort that was nearby. But again, the fort doesn't seem to have anything to do with anything. There's literally a scene. There's literally a scene at the end of the movie where they spend like 5 minutes showing old fashioned printing presses printing out the flyer that keeps popping up in the movie. I don't think anybody says a single word during that whole scene, and one of them is like a well-known actor. And all they're doing is looking at paper and making sure the print is aligned and stuff. And I'm just like, what was the point of this scene? I don't understand this movie. In fact, there was more of a cohesive storyline with more action in the 10 or minute or so uh, montage. Did I say marathon earlier? I meant montage. Montage at the end of the movie where they just show like Kevin Costner's character working his way up through the ranks at a ranch that's being built until he's in charge of whatever. And there's some scenes with him like fighting other cowboys and did I ever mark a pharmacy? I think I think this is pharmacy up the hill here. Um, and then showing him have like shootouts in the bars, but all without sound because it's just music playing. This is a montage, and I'm just like, why? Why was that the decision that was made? Oh, it's not a pharmacy. It's an electronics store. I know the hospital. Isn't there a hospital in town here? Might have something. I used my one herbal antibiotic, and it wasn't enough to take out this infection, and now I'm up to 16% here. It's terrible. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. That anybody thought that this was the way to make a movie. I don't want you on it. I want you to get the fuel out of the back of it, and then we're gonna pick it up in case I die here. But yeah, it wasn't good. Maybe part two will be better now that they've spent all that time leading up to it. There's like, I don't know, it's a bunch of weird scenes. There's story in there, but it's like every story so far is unrelated, other than maybe they're all headed to the same place. Uh, which would be fine if the movie wasn't over 3 hours long. What setup did you need? What setup do you need in your Western? I mean, I literally think they just showed the same place being overrun by Apache like 4 times. It could have been a... Listen, guys, I'm just looking for... I was just looking for some medicine, okay? Although, you know, death will get me out of my infection too, so... I don't know what that opens, but hey. Yeah, I thought it'd be real quick to run in there and get some medicine, but apparently not. Apparently that is not the location for what I was after. I know there's pharmacy somewhere. Oh, good. Now I'm starving too. Oh, I feel like I should just let it happen so I can get rid of this infection. All right. Well, with that, we've been the small things leading to the light. I will talk to you later.